Welcome again, Mr. Ambassador. Now, tell us something about how do you propose to diversify the trade between the two countries now that once sanctions are being lifted or being rescheduled? So, how do you try to diversify the trade between India and Cuba?
Well, we are thinking to diversify and potentially trade, but also the investment. Those two things. The investment, we have in Cuba a portfolio from business that includes more than 240 possibility of business and investment object in my country. And I think that this brings a possibility that Indian enterprises can go to Cuba and invest there. We are thinking that there are some areas, some branches where we are interested, and I think India is also interested, and that is, for example, in renewable energy.
Okay.
We want to, we have a problem in the country, and that is our main energy will be produced with gas and oil. Right now, almost more than 90%. So we want to extend the renewable energy producer in some years, so that we will be able to produce almost 30% of our energy based in renewable energy. And that is a possibility for the investment in Cuba. For example, other investment possibility is biotech and pharma industry, where we can complement each other, our economy. That is one point. The other point is trade and commerce.
Yeah.
We have till now a problem, and that is that our trading, our import and export of Indian and Cuban goods are being trading through third parties. And we have to change that. We have to do it directly. So we have to find
okay, Excellency, how the bilateral agreements in the field of science, technology, sports, and training and other exchange programs, how these are working out between India and Cuba?
I think they begin now to move.
Okay.
Because we have several agreements with the government of India in culture, in sport. Now is discussing. Now we're discussing. Is still open an agreement in education, and we have centers, research centers in Cuba. They are working together with research center in India. For example, biotechnology.
Yeah.
That is starting step by step. In sport, for example, we have training. We have sent training personnel here to teach and to work together with Indian sport in boxing.
Yeah.
We are very, very interested to expand your experience in Cuba in hockey.
Then volleyball.
Volleyball.
Yeah.
So I think that the possibility to work this field the potential are there, and we are beginning.
Okay, Mr. Ambassador.
We're still now in a low level. We have to increase it.
So, Mr. Ambassador, there has been a sea of goodwill and robust cultural exchanges between India and Cuba. So much so that the image of Che Guevara or Fidel Castro himself has been a household name with the youths in India for a long time. So how do you think that more awareness about Cuba will lead to more tourism opportunities, more people-to-people contact between the two countries? How do you propose to do that?
Well, we are thinking first and to bring the information about our country to the people of India. We have to express our information through medias about Cuba, and there are some Indian agency that are interesting now to promote Cuba tourism between the population of India. That is one point. The other point is that India is a mecca in film making.
Yeah.
You have Bollywood.
Bollywood.
The Indian film are very, very well seen in Cuba. And we have an experience with India, filmmaker. They have run a film in Cuba. And I think that that is also a possibility that could increase interest to go to Cuba. We have the experience with a film about a Dick Tiger, I think that was the name, and I think that we can promote that. And another possibility is that with the increasing of international flights to Cuba from all over the world, it creates possibility that Indian citizens or tourists travel to Cuba. And I think those are the main parts of which we are thinking.
Recently, during 2013 and 15, our respective vice presidents went to Cuba and India each other.
Yes.
So now, do you think that it has led to a resurgence? I mean, the resurgence in India-Cuba relationship.
Yes, no doubt, no doubt. We should remember that, for example, when the vice president, Mr. Ansari, was in Cuba, he held some meeting with Fidel. He held meeting with Raúl Castro, and he also held meeting with Díaz-Canel, where different topics of our bilateral relations were discussed. But there is also a point, and that is that during that state, it was also discussed how could India waive the debt, the commercial debt that Cuba had, and it was waived. And that brings, of course, opportunity of credit to work into our relation, and that is very important of that visit.
Okay, so we'll take a short break, and after that we'll be once again with the ambassador.